Hi, I'm Brandon. I love Hallmark Christmas movies.
I'm Alonso, and Hallmark Christmas movies have a lot to live up to this year.
I'm Brian, and I like Hallmark Christmas movies.
I'm Patrick Serrano, and I am a Lifetime movie expert.
I'm Dan, and I despise Hallmark Christmas movies, and this is the
Deck the Hallmark Podcast.
Brandon and friends host this podcast.
We hope you like this jolly podcast.
Yeah.
Boy.
Well, hello, everybody.
Live from that Greenville, South Carolina.
This is Living, this is Greenville. I've said it once, I've said it a million times. It's great to be here. We have been live from downtown Greenville doing our marathon kickoff for, what hour is this? Is this hour 26?
Hour at 10:30, it would be the 27th. We'd be done with 27 hours.
Yeah. Feeling fresh, feeling froggy.
It's been ready to go. We could easily do this another day. No problem.
It's been a great time. It's been a great time.
The first one we've had an audience, and they have been amazing.
Amazing. Let's give it up for the audience.
Give it up for that.
It's been incredible. So many movies to get to this holiday season. This is only the second one, but I'm not going to give anything away. I don't want to.
Don't do that.
Hold your
Play it straight down the middle. 2.5 out of 5. Just straight down the middle.
But holy cow, am I right? Let's go down the line and just say best marathon memory this year. Dan, go.
Oh, boy.
Best Prank TV on brand. There's no question about it.
That was phenomenal.
I don't remember that.
Yep.
You know?
I blocked it out. I block out bad memories from bad people.
I will say this. Real talk, best memory, this community raising over $11,000 for the kids in the spotlights. A great organization, above and beyond by the community watching this live. That was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Can't believe it.
Very excited. Patrick?
Well, it was my first sleepover with boys, so exciting. And to be real, my little seat buddy here, Brian, we've really just been vibing all this whole time, this whole weekend. So it's been so nice to get to know him and just keep checking on each other because we are very close. We're you all are kind of separated.
Yeah, that's true.
We're snuggling, and I'm not mad at it.
Yeah. Fair.
You took mine, so I'll pick something different. That was going to be
Oh, yeah.
I think when we hit over 11,000, Brand doing the 11 kicks in the air. And that came late, but that is a high point. Maybe it's recency bias, but that was a phenomenal event.
Thank you. I worked really hard. I did, in my wildest dreams, I thought maybe it would happen. So I've been training a lot for that.
You have. I
wasn't out of breath at all, and it was easy.
After.
For someone like me, it was
physical
easy.
Condition, yeah.
It was easy, but thank you. That means a lot.
Absolutely.
Alonso?
Sure. Probably the Inside the Actors Studio questions that we got from Elizabeth Cullen at about 3:30
in the morning.
So your favorite marathon memory was the one part that I wasn't a part
That's
of.
right.
Therefore,
We talked about it.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get. Listen,
Here.
more
It
than
wasn't
fair.
because you weren't there.
Yeah.
It just happened that you also that you weren't
happened.
there.
Consider it a both and.
I know. I get. Listen, no, believe you me. My favorite part was just being with everybody. This was really fun. I didn't know what to expect, and now that we've done
come
it,
back next year, do this again.
Wonderful. Let's talk about Where Are You Christmas, the second new movie of the year. It originally aired on October 21st, 2023, and it went a little something like this. Addy is a hotshot marketing exec. And despite the product that she's working on being all about Christmas, she's over the holiday. But when she gets a call from her brother that he's going to propose to his girlfriend on Christmas Eve, she cancels her yearly trip to the Maldives and heads home for Christmas. She tries to avoid Red Lake Falls for as often as possible. In fact, she hasn't been home for Christmas in the past 6 years because a person can only quote unquote handle so much Christmas, and Red Lake Falls is way too much for her. She gets home and immediately tries to sit down and do work emails, but her mom is not having it. She gives her a list of things to go do around town and sends her on her way. She's greeted by literally everyone in town who is so excited to see her, reminds her that they haven't seen her in a while, and then it makes her kind of feel bad. And then she runs into car problems. So she rolls into the mechanic's shed
Shop.
garage, and I call it a shed. Everybody has a different name for it. And
off the shed, bud.
yeah,
Bud.
is greeted by a hunk named Hunter. He's like, man, this car sounds fine to me, but bring it back tomorrow and I'll really take a gander at it. She makes it home finally to see her dad, and he's just like weird and is like, we'll catch up later, and then gives like a passive aggressive toast followed by many passive aggressive jabs at Addy, and how he is clearly annoyed that she doesn't come back very often. She's not in the mood for this, so she's like, I'm just gonna go to sleep. The next day, she's frustrated that her mom wants her to go get another tree, and hears the Santa voice on her phone asking for you gotta make your Christmas wish, make sure you do it. And she drops her phone breaks, and she's mad, and she says out loud, sometimes I wish there was no Christmas. Uh-oh.
Dun, dun, dun.
Then there's some wild like thunder snow. But that doesn't stop her from getting in her car and going to do what she needs to do, and she ends up like skidding into a snowbank. She wakes up and it's in black and white, and Hunter is there. She faints, and she wakes up and she's in Hunter's tow truck. And when they roll up to the house, she's like, where are all the Christmas decorations? And he's like, all the what? But there's no time to dive into that. She heads inside, and her parents have no idea what Christmas is. She's like, man, I must have really been rattled by this crash. I'm just going to go lay down. And so the next day comes, nothing is better. Still black and white, still no Christmas. They talk about how they got so many New Year's movies to watch, start playing those suckers on Labor Day. It's a big funny ha-ha. So she heads out onto the town to see the doctor and find some Christmas, and it's bad. No Christmas. Everyone's just sad and grumpy. It's bad out there. She goes to the garage, the shed, if you will, to give Hunter back the ring that she found in the car that she knows belongs to him. And when she hands that ring back to him, he is flooded with the memory of his grandpa giving that ring to him one Christmas. And suddenly he remembers Christmas, and he turns to color. And I'm just over here freaking out. He's like, whoa, why is everything in black and white? And she's like, I don't know, but I gotta fix this. Super weird, but she's also still in black and white, even though she does remember Christmas. And she's like, well, I don't know why I'm still in black and white, but I feel like I gotta help people remember Christmas like you do. So she heads out on the town singing Christmas carols in people's faces, and she's like, why is this not working? No one remembers any of this. So she goes to look for Christmas decorations in the attic. Nothing there. She then wonders out loud to herself, as one does, where are you, Christmas? That's the name of the movie. Oh my gosh. She then remembers the wish she made, and she realizes that unless she fixes this before Christmas, this wish will stick forever. Because that's what Santa says. So he agrees to go outside with her tomorrow, show off that he's in color, and that hopefully that will lead to some Christmas spirit spreading to the other people. So the next day she shows up, he's real bundled up. He's a little bit nervous. He doesn't want to stick out too much. So he wears like a gray jacket and a black scarf all around him. So he doesn't stick out too much. And they go to this teacher who typically does the Christmas pageant. They hand her a sweater. He shows off his color, and she immediately believes and gets her color back. So we're doing stuff now. She's now on the mission too, and for people to try to believe. Hunter, filled with Christmas spirit, is like, I gotta go cut down a tree. More than fair, my friends. So they go and they cut down a tree, goes and put it in his house. His house then turns to color. Then she gives her mom an ornament, and she remembers it's happening. And as you remember stuff about Christmas begins to show back up. The decorations start to show up in the attic, all that good stuff. It doesn't take long for color to begin to spread throughout the town. People are seeing other people, and that's causing them to believe, and so on and so forth. The magic of Christmas, baby. But the black and white folks, they don't like this. Black and white folks are like, this isn't what we want. This is too much change. The mayor puts a ban on public Christmas decorations of any sort, and Addy's dad is real peed the O off. She finally has a heart-to-heart with him, and he talks about how he's afraid of all the changes going on and how he doesn't know how he fits into her life anymore. She's so busy, and she says that no matter if we stay black and white forever, you'll always be my dad. I don't know. They go to the Christmas pageant to watch her brother propose, and they're happy, but Addy and Dad are still in black and white. Will anything work? The answer is yes. Hunter goes up to recognize him for all the charity work that he does every year. It works. He comes back. He's in full color, remembering all the Christmas joy. So now it's just Addy. The Santa app pops back up and is like, the last chance for wishes. And she says, I just wish I knew how to get out of being black and white. Just then, Hunter shows up, asks her to take a walk. He tells her, I fixed your car. And that no matter what you look like, you'll always be beautiful to me. They end up kissing. No color. She's disappointed. She thought it would work. She's mad, and she even says, I don't know what to do. I even kissed you, and it didn't work. Needless to say, that doesn't go well. He's now sad because he felt like didn't really want the kiss. It was just to maybe get me out of black and white. So she gets in the car. She tries to leave Red Lake Falls, but she cannot. She keeps like teleporting back into the town. She's so mad. She throws her phone out the window. She has another heart-to-heart with Dad, and he tells her that she has to stop doing things because she feels like she has to and start doing the things that she wants to do. So she goes to talk to Hunter out in the town square to make things right. Where Are You Christmas starts playing in the background. They kiss for real. Her color comes back. That song freaking jams, and he's like, I'd love to come to Chicago. They kiss some more as Where Are You Christmas plays, and that, my friends, was Where Are You Christmas?
We did it.
Oh boy. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll break this movie down here on Deck the Hallmark. Dan, you know me. I stress about getting the perfect gift for somebody. I think about it. I know. And I try to think about the perfect things for every person in my life. And it's a little bit stressful. It's a little bit intimidating. And that's why I am thrilled that we have partnered with Skylight Frame once again, because
a game changer.
They make it so easy. There's not a single person that I can think of that wouldn't love a Skylight Frame, because it really makes it so easy to stay connected, especially with loved ones. Like, I have given a Skylight Frame to my parents in the past, and I am able to upload pictures of my kids and myself from the comfort of my house to their frame so that they can see all the fun stuff that we're doing as a family, and they can kind of see these things and see the kids grow up just from the Skylight Frame itself. It's a magical experience.
Yeah, my parents like to see pictures of their grandkids almost as much, if not more, than they like seeing me in person.
More than fair.
The Skylight Frame is a game changer because you're not sitting there trying to text all these pictures and where to keep them. Literally the pictures just appear on the Skylight Frame. It's like a little treat for my parents when they haven't seen a new picture of their grandkids in the last 24 hours. It's a wonderful gift.
It's true.
Whether it's for your loved one, whether it's for your parents, anyone you want to keep in touch with that you don't get to see every day.
Yes.
Skylight Frames allows you to remain daily in their lives through pictures. It's fascinating.
And here's the fun thing. We've partnered with them for a little while now, over the past couple of years, and they have some new colors. Ooh. They got a black frame, a white frame, a silver, and then a limited edition poppy, which is like an orange, red, and a gold. So you got some options.
Upgrade.
That's exactly right. And here's the thing. If you're thinking about jumping into the Skylight Frame world with us, limited time offer for our listeners are going to get $15 off your purchase of a Skylight Frame when you go to skylightframe.com/deck. To get $15 off your purchase of a Skylight Frame, go to skylightframe.com/deck. That is skylightframe.com/deck today. Welcome back, everybody. We're talking about Where Are You Christmas, the second Christmas movie of the year from the Hallmark Channel. Let's break it down. We're going to start with the hot take. We're going to share exactly how we felt about this movie. We will not hold back. Brian, I will start with you.
Oh, you will? Okay.
You were falling asleep a little bit during this movie.
A couple
little bit.
Early on.
But I think you saw most of it. What'd you think of it, buddy?
I saw the majority of this movie. So this one, it was bold. Big swing here. Doing
huge swing.
Huge swing is right. They went hard. I wrote down they went hard. I didn't expect them to go so hard. I don't remember what it was exactly that I thought they went so hard on.
Just all of it.
But it was like they just went hard on like the I guess it was like the wiping out Christmas. I didn't expect them to just make Christmas not exist was what it was. And they were it was a weird world where Christmas didn't exist at all for a little while. And they spent, unlike the first movie, the two leads spent they spent all the time together, basically. They were together so long. And almost like they spent so much time. I think this is where I nodded off at one point. They were just talking to each other so much for so long. Just one-on-one conversation. And I was like, I need a little bit more.
Last night, he's like, they need to spend more time together tonight. He's like, why are they talking
Not
so
this much.
There's a happy medium where it works.
It's the perfect amount of band
perfectly.
practice.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I was intrigued though because the mystery of like what's going on here. Obviously, something is happening with Addy and her dad where they're not in color yet. What is it exactly? And they finally got to it. The speech from her dad about her doing things because she thought she needed to. I mean, that's a great message. That's a great like kernel of a message there. I wish that came up earlier, and she had to work on it a little harder throughout instead of just at the end realizing, oh yeah, I should stop doing things as I think I'm supposed to do them. But I thought they did a good job. I thought maybe Rady was like a ghost at first because he was not mechanicking at all.
He didn't mechanic at all.
He was just like
he looked at the car a little
He did
bit.
look at it a lot.
He looked at it a lot. He seemed to know
Lifted
his
that
way
hood.
around it. He knew how to turn it on. He knew a few parts.
He's got a lot of cars in the shop,
Yeah,
ready
lots
to be
do.
worked on.
A lot of stuff to do, but like not in a rush whatsoever. Really, not even like wiping his hands with like a grease towel like mechanics do. Like, is he even like fix cars? What is
Is
up
he
with him?
even mechanic?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, but that didn't go anywhere. I thought there might be a twist where it's like he's not even really doing what he says he's doing. But there was nothing like that. I thought he would be. I thought she would be Grinchier. Like I thought this was a thing where she was a Grinch the whole time, and everyone around her is like, she's realizing Christmas is great, not her convincing other people, fixing other people. So maybe it's because I didn't see any previews for this, any trailers for this. I liked it though. This is like it's a big swing, very cool. I hope they do more stuff like this. Yeah,
Better than your hockey movie?
Oh man, I gotta say better than the hockey movie. I'm gonna have to say better than the hockey movie.
All right. Alonso.
Wow. Yeah, this is one of the most high concept Hallmark Christmas movies I think we've ever seen. And maybe it's just the 3 hours of sleep talking, but it also to me felt like one of the most feels packed of these movies I've ever seen. Like all the scenes with the family members and the scene where they get together at the end, even though I despise the title song being used here, because it's for idiots. Na 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 na. I mean, like, come on. Nonetheless, really enjoyed.
He just called
this.
you an idiot,
Brand's
Brand.
hiding his offense brilliantly.
He's right. Not on the idiot thing, on the song being terrible. It's trash. Yeah.
Patrick?
Yes. So on the song, I think Cindy Lou Who is mad that the song has been stolen for this Hallmark movie now. So
You think Cindy Lou Who's mad?
Lou Who is pissed.
This just in from Whoville?
The Grinch, okay?
Her
She's singing-
signature tune.
it's
I
her
had
signature
one
song.
thing that was mine.
But you know, Faith Hill is all about those royalties. She's trying to get that money, so she's like, "You could use my song."
Yeah. It wasn't Faith Hill singing. It was someone
wasn't?
else.
It
No.
sounded like her.
Faith.
No, it wasn't Faith Hill.
Maybe it was Faith Hill's
No way it was
daughter.
Faith Hill.
Well,
No way it
we'll
was
check,
Faith Hill.
We'll check.
I would be willing to bet The Farm.
Wow.
Yeah.
We haven't even talked about that.
I would bet The Farm and all the money for kids in the spotlight.
Stuff it.
Yes.
I
Song
bet all the charity money, said Brand.
song aside, you know, the movie, like we said, did take a lot of big swings. I think that coming into it from a movie place, whenever I was kind of talking about this movie to my friends, as I was texting them, like, what am I doing tonight? I'm watching a movie. And I would like send them the picture and they'd be like, oh, it's like Wizard of Oz, or oh, it's like Pleasantville. Yeah. So you have those kind of movies to live up to. I like that the premise kind of took something that could be It was a very fine line. The movie was walking a very fine line because Pleasantville is about like race relations and using the black and white and people turning into color as a comparison to like the race in the 50s. And in black and white, it's like your dream life and your real life. And here it's the Christmas and no Christmas, right? So once they established that pretty well, I think it kind of ticked along and worked really nicely. There was a lot of funny bits in there too about the no Christmas stuff that I thought paid off really well. Like, what would a world look without Christmas? Thanksgiving would be the holiday everyone likes. The 4th of July would be the holiday everyone decorates for. Just like little details in the script that were really nice. And then the performances, I think, were pretty solid, as everyone said, with the emotion and everything. So except for that dad being just a jerk, man. Yeah, that really pissed me off. But I guess they paid it off in the end. Yeah. I agree that they should have paid it off a little bit sooner so we could see a nice relationship with them because it was making me... I'm like, Jerry, what is your problem?
Jerry, Gary, Larry, come on, bud.
Larry, whoever you are.
It's like Pleasantville, but it's also a little bit of Pottersville, too.
Yes.
Where she remembers how things are supposed to be and nobody else does.
Yeah, it's pulling from so many things, which is, I think, good. I think that's a good...
ambitious.
Yeah. Yeah, it was solid.
So I love this movie a lot. I don't think anybody's going to be surprised by that. I cried multiple times during this movie, and it is, as Alonso said, very high concept, not just in the black and white, which I actually thought they did pretty well. And I don't know what goes into mixing black and white and color characters, but I thought by and large it looked solid. And but not just the black and white stuff concept wise, but also like the conversations that she had like with her dad and other conversations. I just thought like they were dealing with like some serious stuff, and I feel like they're handling it well overall. I did feel like dad went real hard at the beginning of this movie. Like with that first dinner, I was like, I felt like one or two or three too many passive aggressive comments. But man, I love this movie. When Where Are You Christmas came in, from one of the greatest Christmas movies of all time, it hit me hard. I went nuts. And I think the thing that I'm most interested in, because this movie played great for me, obviously I'm in a room. This is premiere. This is fun.
Obviously, I'm in a room.
I'm in a room with people watching this movie. How does it play in the middle of the day, like in between movies, when you don't know that this is the bit? Like, how does it play as a movie to fold the close to? Like, I don't know how it does, but in this setting, watching it with people and being like, I'm paying attention to this movie, it crushed for me. And Michael Rady's a revelation.
A revelation.
A revelation.
Wow.
Per usual.
I don't know if it's the fact that I've had 2 hours of sleep the last 38 or so, but this movie did not work for me like I wanted it to work for me. And I hate that because I wanted to love this movie. I love Michael Rady. I think Lindsay Fonseca's great. Jim O'Hare or Hire, I don't know how you say his last name. He's in so many of these movies.
Can I pause you right there? He donated to your car fire. How do you say his name?
I believe it's Hare.
Okay, Jim O'Hare.
He would know. He donated to his car
I'm
fire.
Tell that story in all the fields.
Yeah, please.
You owe me.
They finally give this guy stuff to do.
Yeah.
And even though he's way too mean early on, he's really, really good in this movie. And like with a meatier role than he normally gets, he does a really good job. I guess my two things that kind of, as the movie goes on, started to not work for me were when people started like remembering and turning into color. There was a little bit of a diminished return for me. Like when Rady does it, it's amazing. Yep. And the World Without Christmas is really funny. Like New Year's movies, funny. Like that, there are things that absolutely hit, but then they set up a central mystery of why this, our lead knows about Christmas and knows the secret to getting everyone else to turn to color, but can't turn to color herself. And I personally, and I would be willing to watch it again, but personally, I didn't feel like they paid that off well enough. I feel like her kissing Rady and turning into color was not the way it should have gone. I didn't feel like that was the thing, because when she comes to town, she doesn't even know Rady and she hates Christmas. So why does her kissing Rady finally? I don't get that. And maybe it's because I'm tired, but that didn't work for me. The big swing was
Well,
there.
she's given herself over to that she might be black and white forever.
I understood what they said.
Yeah.
I understood what the dad said. But for me, this was about her fixing her relationship with her family. And then the falling in love thing was a bonus. It wasn't like, ooh, Rady's the reason I'm here. It's, I got to fix my relationship with my mom and dad. And that was
I don't disagree. If it was really just about not doing stuff because you feel like you have to, the conversation with her dad, the initial one where, you know, she's like, hey, no matter what, you'll always be my dad and there's a place for you. Like that should have been the thing. Because that's a conversation that she's having because she wants to, not because she has to.
I was waiting for a really big emotional punch with the dad. And instead I got something that was probably more realistic with the dad, and that's fine. But for her to not turn until she kisses the dude who is ancillary from a standpoint of what's important to her character, it didn't work. That was lost in translation to me. However, some great moments, great performances, love Rady, and please keep swinging for the fences here. Miles better than the hockey movie. A solid entry for Christmas, but it didn't quite land for me. And I would be willing to watch it again because of the circumstances, but hate to bring the room down. Was kind of happy I wasn't the only one in that boat. It didn't quite do everything that I thought it was trying to do. So there you go. But on a degree of difficulty scale, definitely higher up than what we normally get.
Dan's going to watch the movie again. Doesn't quite roll off the tongue as well, but it's still a win for me. It's time for all the feels where we talk about what in this movie gave us those feels. Brian.
When Rady came into color, this room erupted, and that was phenomenal. That's how it should have been. I hope.
Yeah,
it was
absolutely.
in households all over America.
That scene is that whole scene is like
the flashback to the present to the
thumbs up for the whole movie. It's that good.
Mm-hmm. Did you hear that, Bram?
Yeah, I heard it, man.
And then Mayor Matt was sort of, for me, an unsung hero a little bit. When he was in color and he was full on Mayor Matt, he was great. That energy, he was really fun, and wanted a lot more of him. So that was for me.
Alonso.
So yeah, Jim O'Heir, who, by the way, I looked it up. This is actually his first Hallmark movie.
What? Then what have I seen him in?
He did Parks and Rec. He's
That's
Jerry
what it
on
is.
Parks and Rec.
That's what it is.
He did one Hallmark or Lifetime Christmas movie, but this is, I think, his first Hallmark. Anyway, long story short, because I've alluded to it in the past, end of 2011, this arsonist went around LA and blew up a lot of cars that were parked under buildings, because that's how the old apartment buildings in Los Angeles tend to be, and got a whole bunch of them one night, or over the course of several weeks, actually. But the first night, Dave's car and my car were among the first to go. One blew up, the other one melted because it was parked behind it. And a couple of friends of ours did online crowdfunding to help us buy used cars. And one friend of ours, who I guess had worked for a while on Parks and Rec, I guess had sort of shared it out in his social media. And Jim O'Heir, who I've never met to this day, donated towards
Jim O'Heir.
What a good guy.
He's great. He's aces in my book. The Ring flashback was great. I love it when Hallmark movies do a thing that that Hallmark movies 5 years ago would never have done. The Occam's razor joke.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good joke.
Razor joke. That's a thing that the Bill Abbott Hallmark would have been too smart for the room.
That's
Cut
right.
it out. Get rid of it. I really was of all of the bringing people back into color scenes, I was most moved by the mom one, and maybe that's just my button to push. But when she says we felt like you were embarrassed by us. I've never heard anybody say that in one of these movies, but it's so often the unspoken thing of well, you went off to the fancy big city, and now you come back to our small hick town, and clearly you're too fancy for us. But for her to just say that, I was like, oof, that was a really powerful moment that landed. The great Julie Warner from Doc Hollywood and Lindsay Fonseca, a really great scene.
Lots of good crying scenes for me. But we don't have time for that. So I will go with Rady bundling up because he's nervous about being in color. was
the Invisible Man.
amazing. Exactly.
Yeah.
It was amazing. It was hilarious. Even with the glasses and he takes them off. Oh, it was perfect. I love that scene. It made me laugh hard. So thank you, Michael Rady. You're a revelation. Patrick.
Yes. My feelings are always weird because I don't have feelings.
Sure.
So the brother, Connor, was so hot and a cop. So that made me feel a certain way. And then when he got engaged,
Sure.
I was feeling jealousy. I was very jealous. And I was like, how could he propose to her and not me? So those were the feelings I had.
Fair.
Get some rage over here.
Yeah. Dano.
Yeah, the scene with the ring and him remembering the scene with his dad. That Michael Rady's dad gets one scene in this movie, and my man could have phoned it in, and he came to play.
Yeah.
Like, just destroys in that scene. And I think as a parent, like, and this will, the reason I'm saying this is not because I want to get sentimental, but because it comes up in my Wait What's. As a parent, I think my biggest fear is my kids, even though I try to tell them literally every day, like, it doesn't matter what you do or where you go. I always love you, and I'm always there in your head and in your heart, and you can always come home. I tell my kids that when they're angry. I tell my kids that when they're happy, and that's important. And getting a scene where a dad says that, and for someone to remember that, and that to bring them back to life, something that I hope my adult son will do when I'm gone. Like, I hope that will happen. And so that was a really, really great scene.
Amen. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back with the Wait What and the What the Hallmark and a fighting chance with Vic Webster here on Deck the Hallmark.
Bran, I got to tell you, I'm getting older, and something that doesn't affect you and your giant afro does
Right.
affect me, and
What's that?
that is hair thinning.
Okay.
There's sometimes when I'm just like, you know what? I'm just going to shave the whole bad boy off because I just, I get sick of it. I get sick of dealing with it, and it's like, that's where it's going anyway. I may as well just chop the whole thing down. And then I found out about Nutrafol.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know about them.
Don't you?
I do, because here's the thing. Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement. It is clinically shown to improve hair growth, visible thickness, and strength. And here, I'm not just saying stuff. There's studies, Dan.
Actual studies.
72% of men saw more scalp coverage after taking Nutrafol men's hair growth supplement for 6 months, and 86% of women saw improved hair growth after taking Nutrafol's woman hair growth supplement for 6 months. This is happening. It's happening to real people right now.
It is. It's something that I'm willing to give a shot to because the company's so great and the product is so great, and I think you should too. Take the first step towards visibly thicker, healthier hair. For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering listeners $10 off your first month subscription.
Nice.
And free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com and enter the promo code DECK.
Okay.
Find out why 4,000 healthcare professionals recommend Nutrafol for healthier hair. Nutrafol.com, spelled Nutrafol.com, promo code DECK. That's Nutrafol.com, promo code DECK.
Welcome back, everybody. We're talking about Where Are Ya Christmas? It's time for the Wait What's.
Nailed it.
It's where we share our Wait What's, the things that made us go, wait, what? Brian?
Yeah, her dad had he held his charity event. Was it Christmas Day? I think it was
I
Christmas.
think
Day.
so, sure.
It just seemed a little, I don't know, like late, sort of.
There's lots of charity events on Christmas
On
Day.
Christmas Day,
That's where the pet adoption happens.
It just seems like pick another day. And then at the event, Connor is playing Santa. He doesn't even have a beard on. He's just rolling around with. He might not have even had a Santa hat on, just a big coat. So pick another
But
day.
did you see how hot he was?
Do a
Yeah,
better
you can
job.
cover his face.
That's what it was.
And
They didn't want to cover him
obviously.
up.
Before he
I'm
proposed,
sorry, I wasn't
we
even
thought
thinking.
for sure.
You're not going to hide that light under a
Man,
bushel.
you're right. Blair's dad, Blair was her friend. Her dad said, quote, "Nothing a Christmas dinner can't fix." I'd like to quote Brent, doubt it. Please. It would make anything worse.
Yeah.
And then the pageant was just a proposal and a recognition for Nick. Like, they did nothing else for that pageant at all. They didn't mention any other events except just real quick proposal, switch to bring the kids out, hold the presents. Don't hand them to them. Hold the presents. Get out. Everybody out. We're all done. Could have done a little more, I think.
Brian's going to be better tomorrow. He's going to be better in tomorrow's episode.
Oh, no.
He's going to bring it tomorrow.
Just wait.
It's good.
Just you
You'll
wait.
sound like a different person.
A different
I gotta
person.
leave some stuff on the table for the rest of you
Right,
guys.
of course.
Yeah, of course.
Alonso?
Okay, so she's driving back to town where this is like one of these typically Hallmark like Christmas obsessed small towns, and the mother says, "Oh yeah, the Christmas store is pretty new," and it's like, it is.
Yeah, and Christmas is in the motto of this town.
Yeah.
They had a meeting this year and I was like, you know what we're missing? This is crazy.
Hey, you know we never opened.
a Christmas store. Well, Christmas is in our motto. No store.
Yeah, Dr. Candy Canes in the pocket seemed just a little sinister to me.
A little, a little not above.
Like, please do not be distributing candy. You make me nervous. The dad's like passive aggressiveness is next level for Hallmark. Like, this is like an off-Broadway play where it's just like every line out of his mouth is like, well, if you ever came home, you'd know that. Yeah. So that was like that kind of I was taken aback a bit. And then the fiance. So we are told in the flashback when they meet on the way to the pageant that she has just moved to town with her parents. Where are the parents for this big moment of the proposal? The dad, Mr. Passive Aggressive, is like, call me dad. I'm like, where are her parents? That was it.
I have a couple. Just two, really. One.
That is a couple.
Thank you. So Hot Cop goes in to the jewelry store. He's still in black and white. And the jewelry store owner, whatever.
Clerk.
Yeah, is like, I've been waiting for you to come in. And then he says, like, I've been waiting to give this to you, son. Like, this guy was like his age. Yeah. It would be like me saying to Brian, like, hey, you'll be better tomorrow, son. Like, you can't do that.
Hey, thanks, Brian.
You can't just be throwing son around all willy-nilly just because you're the jewelry guy. I call everyone son and daughter. It's my thing.
We had to replace the 75-year-old actor at the last minute, but we didn't change any of the dialogue.
I'm 20. I mean, I could do it if you want me to. You want me to still say son?
Can we get one more there? Call him son.
Call him
It's
son.
gonna work.
You sure? He's older than me. Last but not least, and this is just a little thing, but in a movie where everything is black and white, especially when it's first black and white, the countdown to Christmas thing in the bottom being
Tough,
in
the
color
It's tough.
was annoying to me. It took away from it because it's like we have this whole black and white and then it's like countdown to Christmas. It's gonna be a real good time. And so I just wish that especially for the premiere when it's the thing that we're watching, I pay a little bit back to the premiere. Like just take we know what we're watching.
I have a theory.
Okay.
I think that Hallmark kind of insisted on that.
Really?
Because I bet you
People
they
are-
worried that having a full-on black and white movie before people started turning to color was
Maybe.
going to have all the grandmas out there be like, what's happening to my set?
My television set.
Oh, no.
But it is like I'm like all in. I'm like we're black and white. Let's go, baby. And
Yeah,
then
no,
then
agreed.
it's like I see the thing and I'm like okay, there's the thing. So I don't know. That's just a little thing, but it's not as annoying as the ding from a couple years ago that they had for the first weekend. So it's just a little thing, but just something I noticed. Dano? Nope.
Yeah.
Patrick?
Nope. Good talk. Go for it, Patrick.
Well, great. Anybody who knows me knows that I am basically Garfield, right? I hate Mondays. I'm lazy.
Love lasagna.
I love lasagna. Lasagna was a hot topic in this movie. And I don't know if you caught it, but
Thrown around
it
willy-nilly.
literally tore a daughter and father apart. Lasagna had the power to do that. And I've never met a lasagna that I was so offended by.
Yeah.
Even like a vegan lasagna or like a raw lasagna with like zoodles I'm into, you know?
Yeah.
So we didn't get any pictures of this lasagna, and I need to see the lasagna, see what's wrong with it. Somebody for this weekend posted a picture of a lasagna at some point.
Oh, yes,
and
they
all weekend I was like, where is the lasagna? And then this was insult to injury. Yes, where is lasagna? It was my question.
I love that they made up, but he still thinks lasagna's trash. Like he's like,
I thought the contention was that she wanted to serve one at Christmas, but no, apparently just that it sucked, and she wants to serve it anyway.
It's just that bad. It's just that bad.
Wow.
So that was, I mean, really, how bad could it be?
how bad could it be? Dano?
What is going on with this car is extraterrestrial. Her car, the lights behind the numbers for the RPMs and the speed, you can't see them, but the other lights are on, and the gauges are just going all haywire. And here's the thing: is I guess that could happen. Maybe I think the car's alive, but maybe it could happen. But it's not drivable at that point. It's not drivable, and she drives it every day.
Yeah.
She doesn't drive it into town and go, I can't drive this anymore. When he says he can't fix it, she takes it out for another spin. She's continuing to drive this alien car over and over again. Even to the point where her mom's like, what are you doing sitting around on Christmas break? Get out there and drive your alien car on the black ice. Which is a lot.
Yeah. I still don't know if the car really had problems or if it was a Santa, Santa was
I've
goofing.
had that happen with like an alternator's gone bad.
Yeah.
But you can't drive it anymore.
Yeah.
The car just shuts down.
But do you think it was just Santa messing around?
Hey, it could have been Santa just giving it the old once over. Why is she still driving it?
Yeah.
If she knows that's the case, why is she still driving
Alien car.
Late in this movie, when everyone has turned back to color and she is still black and white, this dad sits down with her daughter. He's talking to someone from the Dick Van Dyke Show, looks at her and says, well, this has certainly been one of the more unique Christmases we've had recently. One of? Recently? What is going on in your family if this is just in a top 5 list of your recent weird Christmases? This is one. Everything else is last. If you have anything that is near this, where are you sequel is what I need. Are you kidding me right now? This has been one of, I don't know if you remember 2020, but oh boy.
That one was a dilly.
Like, I don't know.
The Letterman top 5, it's going to crush.
You remember when we all turned to Ghost in 2018? It was crazy. Remember when everyone in town was a musical? It was stupid.
Remember when we realized we didn't have a Christmas shop?
So not even in her life recently.
Yeah.
Like this is one of the more unique in the last 5 to 10
Yeah.
years. Bro, like stop going home. I'm with you. Stay in Chicago. And look, I said my feels like how important it is my kids know that I love them all the time.
Here comes the truth.
In my opinion,
Finally.
in my opinion, the actions of this dad are like not only over the top, but just completely inexcusable. Like if your daughter's like not prioritizing you, you just still love her. That's what you do. If she comes home for 3 days, you just say you're happy she's home for 3 days. Period. That's it. She comes home for 12 hours. You just say she's happy. You're happy she's home for 12 hours, and you tell her how much you love her. That's your job as a parent. Like that's just what it is. And they never really have him apologize for that. Like they have him say he feels like he was being left, or he feels as though she was embarrassed. And that's great to share your feelings, but you still need to apologize for your actions. And he never does that. He doesn't do it all movie. And that was a tough hurdle for me to really get past. At one point, is it the mayor? Who's the guy that's
The mayor.
The mayor says all public declarations of any kind are prohibited. What does that mean? Can I not go outside and just be like, it's cold? Can I not?
Decorations.
Oh, I thought he said decorations.
No.
That makes a lot more sense.
Listen,
That makes a lot
I'm much more on board now. Much more on board. It's late, guys. It's late. This has certainly been one of the more unique
It's
Christmas
like your
movies.
house on December 26th.
That's right, exactly. No decorations. Period.
Matt knows what he's doing.
And how in the world are you in town?
They're all just looking at each other.
He's like, you can't You can ask me a question if you like. You can't. No declaratory.
No declaration.
We can go inside. We can go into my private abode.
We can ask questions, but you can't answer them.
That's right. If you would like to go out of public into private, then declare all you would like. So, I as the entire town goes black and white, and no one knows about Christmas but her, how does she not try to leave town? Not once does she go, let me see if this extends outside of town. Let me see if this is true in Chicago. Or like my friends, I can't reach them. Let me drive to them and see. She never once tries to do it until the end of the movie, until everyone now is in color but her. And then she finds out she's trapped, which is convenient for the plot of the movie, but not convenient for the character. That's all I got.
It's time for what the Hallmark is, where we wonder what could have been. Maybe applicants been clear. What we still have. What are we still wondering about, Alonso?
I would say, because I want to build off of your
Go ahead.
Please do. Yeah.
Which was, like, is this happening everywhere or not? And if the fact that she's being trapped in this town, in this infinite loop that she can't escape, means that it's, in the town only, like, is she the only interloper? Like, nobody else is showing up for the day and stumbling into this nightmare?
Yeah.
Or, like, nobody else is trying to leave? Like, I wanted a few more rules on what was happening and why.
Brian?
Yeah, mine is about her dad and how he was so passive aggressive and mean early on. So it made sense when he was in black and white that he was he had that edge and he was really kind of mean to her about her not being around. But it didn't make sense early on when he was in full color and when she first showed up, like you were saying, Dan, like you're just glad she's there. Yeah. So he at least 3 comments about, oh man, I mean,
it was tough, man.
Like,
I wanted to punch him in the face.
It was really weird.
Not a
It
fan.
felt like so out of character for him, setting him up in that light, because they're just going to do it when he turns black and white. Like, just do it then, and then we won't care that he's mean.
Because black and white, you're supposed to be grumpy.
But it's sort of like jaded on him a little bit. Like he shouldn't have been so mean earlier.
Or then the as you said, the resolution with the dad is what turns her back into color.
That was what I was waiting on. She's still got to forgive him. That's huge. Yeah. But for him to be like, I'm sorry, like you're an adult, and like I didn't like. Loving you as an adult is different than loving you as a kid, and I didn't do that well. And then her walls come down, and then she turns into color. That's what that was how I thought it should end.
Yeah.
And that was disappointing.
I don't want to keep talking about lasagna. I do want to keep talking about lasagna.
Let's every day.
How did they resolve that situation? If it was just about lasagna,
it sucks. You're right.
Did the dad who made the first move here? Who did he just go up and be like, I'm willing to give the lasagna another chance, and then they're in color? Like, how did of the people we didn't get to see turn to color? I think that guy's the one that I wish we saw, because I'm dying to know. What was it? What was it? Who made the first move? That's all. Patrick?
Being a Chicago friend, I really was wondering when the Chicago friend was going to come back. She had some great advice in the beginning to our protagonist, and she was like, be in the moment, I was like, oh, yeah, friend, did you tell him? And we did so much, setting up for the friend. Like, we got her job. We got, her promotions coming. We got, all this information about her. And then she never came back. Not even, as, a phone call or anything. So I would want to see the friend come back. I want to see if that friend was, affected by this Christmas curse.
Well, she keeps trying to call the friend and can't get through. And that's part of the bubble of all this.
And we're going to get to mine quick so we can get to Vic, which is what's important. I just want to know what, outside of this town in Chicago, everyone's in color, Christmas normal. Is that what we're to understand based upon her being trapped there and not being able to leave?
I think so, yes.
Okay. And so that's why we didn't hear from her,
right.
I would assume. Right. But I would have liked to see some sort of communication there, or just the time loop thing come into play, or the loop come into play earlier, I guess.
And does she, once her phone pops back on, she gets all those messages. I'm assuming it's from Chicago Friends. Does she come clean to Chicago Friends? Hey,
she's gonna bring.
Do I have a story for you?
Remember 2017?
It's one of the 5 more interesting Christmases of the last few years.
It is not so. We did, everybody. Congratulations. Now, as we were watching this movie, you might have been wondering, squinting here and there, is that a fight? Is that a fight? We're not experts, so we're going to hand it over to Vic Webster, who's going to let us know if there's any fighting chance
martial arts
for any fights. Take it away, Vic. It was close. It was close.
I hate it.
Maybe next time we're
time's
gonna
coming.
be back tomorrow with another one. Until then, maybe the first to wish you a Merry Christmas.
Deck the Hallmark's a Bramble Jam podcast is produced by Aaron Shea. For more information on Deck the Hallmark, you can go to deckthehallmark.com. For more information on the Deck the Hallmark family, you can go to bramblejamplus.com. Deck the Hallmark is presented by Philo TV. For a free trial of Philo, go to philo.tv/DTH.
You're about to hear some ads that help keep the lights on here in the old studio. Thanks for listening or don't listen. It's really up to you at this point. It's at the end of the show. I mean, you're listening to me. Hi. But here they come. I promise they're coming. Yep, here they are. Happy day.